have struggled with my weight my entire life, and I've lost and gained.
Hey Bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bestie, like the video because it helps with my algorithm. So Bestie, today we're going to talk about something so many people dream about but feels impossible: losing 100 pounds faster. I want you to know that it's not about starving yourself or following crazy trendy diet. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that works for you. So I'll put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back, share my true sense.
I have struggled with my weight my entire life, and I've lost and gained hundreds of pounds throughout the course of 20 years. Here are the 3 things that I did that finally helped me to lose weight and keep it off for the last 6 years. Number 1, I promised myself that this time around, no matter what happens, I was not going to give up on myself. No matter what. If I had a binge episode, if I stopped going to the gym for a week, there was no way that I was going to give up on myself ever again. If you do not give up on yourself, you cannot fail. The second thing I did was I set small, attainable goals for myself. When you have a lot of weight to lose, like I did, 100 pounds, and yet again, that can be incredibly discouraging. And so this time around, I said to myself, just take it 10 pounds at a time. And so smaller attainable goals was easier for me to not get discouraged and wanted to give up on myself. Making small attainable goals and hitting those goals kept me motivated. Every single time I hit my 10-pound mark, I said, okay, we can do this again. Let's try for another 10 pounds. Every single time I hit my 5,000K step goal, I said, okay, well, let's shoot for 7,000 this time. And it kept me disciplined to hit that next goal the following time. And last but not least, the most important, I educated myself on nutrition labels, serving sizes, what a carb was, educating myself on calorie deficit and how calorie deficit works for fat loss. It was easy for me to utilize that same exact method when it came to maintaining my weight loss. I really hope this helped, and if you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up in the comments.
To lose a significant amount of weight, I'm talking 40, 50, 70, 100 plus pounds, then this is for you. Specifically speaking to ladies who want to lose the weight naturally, I lost 100 pounds completely naturally, and no shade if you want to get help or use help, but there are women out there who want to lose the weight without help. It can sometimes feel completely helpless. There's a lot of transformation stories out there that are significant amounts of weight, but the person didn't lose the weight naturally. I have a 100% natural 100-pound weight loss story, and I want to give you some hope that if you're not going that route, you can do this. Also, speaking to you as somebody who was not fit before, I feel like a lot of times with weight loss transformations, it was like pregnancy weight, but they were fit before. Not that you're still not working hard, but as somebody who really completely transformed her habits and her life, I was a chain smoker. I lived on fast food and energy drinks, zero exercise. I was drinking and like so unhealthy. And I changed all of that, lost the 100 pounds, transformed my habits, my mindset, my life. And if I can do it, you can too. I feel like this is where a lot of people do go wrong, is that they just overcomplicate it. So I just want to share a couple of the things that I did. I have an entire podcast episode on my transformation story, but I want to just list out really quickly some of the things that I did that you can literally implement today to get yourself started doing this in a simple way. The very first thing that I did was I implemented meal planning, and this really in the beginning looked like a hot mess. I had no idea what I should really be eating, but I just started doing the basic stuff and being consistent with it, not just like creating a meal plan one week and then the next week ordering out all week. Like I set a goal of meal planning every single week, and I kept that intention, and it allowed for me to just take control over the habit of my food. The second thing that I started doing was logging my food, completely free, downloaded an app, started logging my food, and this allowed for me to see how the things that I was eating actually added up and gain a ton of awareness for how many calories. I would have told you, oh, I'm really not eating that much. It wasn't until I logged consistently, weekends, times I went out to eat, everything, that I realized, holy cow, I'm consuming way more calories than I ever would have thought. The thing that I started doing was moving more. I, again, was super sedentary, and I didn't overcomplicate this. I didn't stress about what's the best exercise. I literally just got up and started pushing my baby in the stroller and walking. Actually, I added in strength training and cardio, but to start, I didn't overcomplicate it. The next thing that I did was I started goal setting after I kind of got some of these things into place. Every single week, I would sit down on Sunday and I would write out my goals and intentions for the week. I would get super specific. Okay, how many times do I want to exercise this week? And I would schedule it in. Where does this fit into my schedule? And I kept it flexible. If things changed, I would move things around, but I had a dedicated amount of time that by the end of the week, I will have stayed in my calories this many days or exercised this many days. And I repeated that every single week. The other thing that I started doing was measuring my progress, tracking my measurements, and I did use the scale, but I didn't look at it from day to day. I looked at my weekly average, and I really focused more on progress pictures, how my clothes were fitting, and measurements. And I did this regularly. I made sure that I was staying on top of, if I want these things to change, I need to be updating them and looking at my measurements regularly. From there, I was able to take all of this sort of data and these systems that I put into place and make changes. So for the food logging, once I saw how many calories I was consuming, I could look at my progress and say, okay, well, I'm not seeing progress at this calorie amount, so I could kind of adjust my calories. I could look at my progress pictures or my scale weight from week to week and make adjustments. My meal plan, like everything got a lot tighter, but I started out really broad and I tightened things as I went. Trying to jump to the top of the staircase in my 100-pound weight loss, I really just focused on the next step in front of me. What is one step that I can take? I didn't stay stagnant. I didn't just allow myself to sit there comfortably. I challenged myself. Every week I would add a little more, but I didn't beat myself up if it wasn't completely perfect. And I always would go back to the drawing board and see, okay, what changes, do I need to make? If this isn't working, do I need to schedule my workout at a different time? It was really flexible in my approach while also keeping it really systemized. This allowed for me to create habits, and a decade later, these habits are still a part of my life. They help me manage my weight, or if I'm in a little fat loss phase, I pull them back out. And it honestly just ended up turning into the whole lifestyle thing. If you want me to get any more specific on any of those and share specific details, I totally will. I just wanted to give you some really simple things that I did that really didn't cost me any money, wasn't any special supplement, medication, surgery, none of it, that allowed for me to set these things into motion.
100 pounds in less than a year, and I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be so freaking complicated. Like, you can literally not track your calories and not have a crazy workout plan and still freaking lose the weight. When I first started working out, the last thing that I wanted to do was be jumping around doing these crazy workouts, so I did interval running, and that was the most realistic way that I could actually work out. Interval running is literally just 30 seconds on and off of walking and running, and that was way more attainable than me saying, hey, I'm gonna go run a freaking mile when I'm over 250 pounds. And at the start, I would literally only do that for 1 mile because that's all I could freaking do at the start, and that's perfectly fine. 1 mile is more than what I was doing before, which was nothing. And it would literally only take me around 15 to 20 minutes to do that. I always thought, I can prioritize myself for 15 to 20 minutes a day, be serious. Every morning, I would also drink green tea and apple cider vinegar, and I feel like that really helped at just settling my stomach and not making me feel so hungry all the time. I would always make sure that I was drinking it on an empty stomach, and I would always drink it warm, but it's so freaking gross. I would be gagging and get goosebumps. It's really freaking nasty, but it did help my stomach to not be so hungry all the time. I also did fasting, and I feel like that really helped to retrain my stomach to not just be freaking hungry all the time and just mindlessly eat. And one of the biggest tips I can give for fasting is just make sure you have a lot of fluid, because there's a lot of times that your body's freaking telling you that you're hungry, but you're not even hungry. You're literally just thirsty. And I see a lot of people asking how did you stay consistent? How did you stay motivated? A lot of the times I wasn't motivated. I just really wanted to change my life, so I was disciplined with myself. I would much rather be freaking sitting on the couch eating cookies. I was disciplined, so I would get myself out there and freaking get the workout in. And a lot of the times you're having your cheat meals way too often, and then that's just gonna ruin all your progress. So what I would recommend is this thing called a 3-bite rule. Just say you're at Chili's and a freaking molten lava cake pulls up. What you're gonna do is 3 bites. That's it. With the first bite, you get that initial oh my god, this is hitting the spot. And then that second bite, you actually get to enjoy the flavors because you already had that initial, oh my gosh. And then the third bite, you get to say goodbye to it and be all right, that was my last bite and I got it. I got my fix. There you go. And having a little rule like that in place with yourself is so good because it just makes it more realistic. I'm not saying you can never freaking have a molten cake again while you're on your journey. That's not freaking realistic. So if there's a yummy food that you want, enjoy your freaking 3 bites, and I promise you won't feel so restricted and want to quit as often. I just think so many people come on here and tell you all these crazy ways to lose weight and don't eat this and don't eat that. No. you can still live your life.
I've lost 235 pounds, and here are a few tips that have helped me lose weight and stay consistent in my goals. One is understanding that you're not always going to feel motivated. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline and a plan that you have and that you can stick to is what counts and where it's at, and that's what helps you become successful. It's being disciplined whenever you don't feel motivated to do something. Get disciplined by practicing discipline. So create small goals each day, make yourself do them no matter what, and then you create a healthy habit. Number 2 is understanding that weight loss only happens because of a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter what type of diet you do. It doesn't matter if you get weight loss surgery, if you use shots, if you use pills, if you do nothing at all, if you do it all on your own, if you don't have any assistance, whatever the case is, the only way to lose weight is by being in a calorie deficit, which means your body is burning more calories than what you consume. That's the only way to lose weight. All of these diets, the pills, weight loss surgery, I had weight loss surgery, all of those things are tools to help you get in a calorie deficit. Okay? It doesn't matter how else you do it, as long as you're in a calorie deficit. But I say that to say, girl, do what works for you, honey. What worked for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. Period. Also, I will say, track your food, whether it's for a few weeks when you're just starting out, whatever the case may be. You might think that you're not eating that much, but when you start weighing your food and actually measuring everything, and then you start tracking how many calories you're eating, you're going to be really surprised that you're eating a lot more than you thought you were, girl. So track what you're eating until you're in a place. I've been counting calories for like 2 years. Right now, I don't really have to track what I eat because I'm pretty aware of what I can eat in a day and be successful. But girl, track what you're eating, especially when you're just starting out. Last but not least, girl, understand, or guy, you are so worth it. You are so worth it. You are important. Your health is important. Your mental health is important. Come on, we need you around for years to come. You have a family that's counting on you, a son or daughter, a spouse, whatever it is. You want a family one day. Listen, honey, we're going to make it happen. We're going to be around for the long haul because we're going to get healthy and you're worth it. So I love you. I'm going to see you in the next video. Save this video when you need some encouragement, okay?
Okay, everybody, here's the video on how I went from 350 pounds to where I am now. I have lost about over 100 pounds. I haven't weighed myself in a minute, but let me give you the whole tea. Okay, so I was 350 pounds and I have lost over 100 pounds. I've been able to keep the weight off, and I lost all that weight in under a year, and I'm going to tell you exactly how. So all I did was cut out my carbs and my sugars. And I know everyone says that, but they don't really tell you how they did it. Like, you can have bread, but you can have keto bread. So if you go to Walmart, buy Sola bread that has 1 gram of carbs and just have your sandwich on that, you know? Or when you want chips, there's protein keto chips over at Walmart that have 4 grams of carbs for this much, like a little baggie. You know, and I have my nachos on there. And then instead of pasta, just eat zucchini noodles. So you just, you know, take the noodles and just, you know, put it in a little machine. Or you can buy them straight up from the store already made. So, like, that's what I personally did. If you want a more, like, in-depth video about it, like, I can definitely give you one. Now I'm kind of like, I didn't go to the gym once. I have not started to go to the gym until this year. And, yeah, well, now I'm starting to go because, like, I just want to kind of, like, tone up my body a little bit, you know? After losing all that weight, like, you kind of just have to do a little bit of a tone. And, like, I've been going for the past, like, month, and I've already seen differences, so, like, I'm all good. But, like, during that time I lost weight, I did not go to the gym once. Like, I was too nervous to go to the gym. Like, I thought everyone was looking at me. So, like, now I'm going, and everything's fine, but just do it. You know, it's still January. That was my New Year's resolution 2020, was to lose all that weight, and I did it. And I didn't start January 1st. This was probably the time I started in 2020. But yeah, that's how I lost all the weight. And if you want, like, if you have any questions, like, you know, comment them. I'll obviously answer them.
This to this naturally. So let's talk about what actually worked. This is episode 1 of my 10-part series on losing 100 pounds. unfiltered, no BS. So many of the coaches and gurus will tell you not to eat past 7 or 8 p.m. as if your metabolism just turns off. I eat most of my calories at night because I know regardless of what I eat during the day, I'm gonna want to eat at night. The trick is to not go into dinner starving so you don't binge eat, but focusing on getting about 30 grams of protein for breakfast and lunch in a low calorie way so that you can save most of your calories for dinner. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to figure out what works for you and your routine and not what social media says. So if you're a night eater, that's okay. Just adjust what you're eating during the day so that you don't go over your calories.
3 healthy girl habits that helped me through my 100-pound weight loss journey that I still practice today. Number 1, aim to have at least 30 grams of protein by 10 a.m. every single day. That means you're gonna have to be intentional with your breakfast choices. For some of you, that means you're gonna actually have to have breakfast. It's gonna keep you energized. It's going to keep you full. With that, it's also going to help you with those cravings or wanting to have snacks in between lunch. Next, you gotta stay hydrated. Drink at least half your body weight in ounces per day. Yes, protein is important. Yes, maintaining muscle is important. But did you know muscle is made up of 75% water? Well, now you do. And lastly, speak kindly to yourself. Make sure that every word that comes out of your mouth is something that is positive and is something that is uplifting. Because this journey is hard enough. Be your own cheerleader. You can do it. Keep it up.
God, I've lost over 100 pounds. Here are 3 tips that I will tell my younger self besides a calorie deficit. Number 1 is move more. If you move more, you can eat more. That doesn't mean do hours of cardio. That can just mean after a meal, go for a walk. When you're on a break at work, go for a walk. Move little bits throughout the day. It's going to burn way more calories than you could ever know. Prioritize protein and fiber. A lot of people glorify eating chicken, broccoli, and rice. I personally can't do that. So I eat high protein ice cream and frozen berries. Protein and fiber right there. What that does is it slows down digestion, keeps you fuller for longer, and burns more calories. Nobody really talks about this, but number 3 is self-awareness. When you lose weight and you improve yourself, a lot of it comes down to being self-aware. I'm hungry right now. Is it actually hungry or is it stress? Why am I overwhelmed right now? Is that because I've done hours of cardio and I'm barely eating any food and my body is under so much stress right now that all my body wants to do is get food, and as soon as I eat a bite, my body's going to go crazy? Become self-aware. Know when you're wanting to eat because of stress or when you're wanting to eat because you're genuinely hungry. Become self-aware. You can use all of these tips, but if you're not actually in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. So make sure.
I'm about to go into my shift at the bar, but I started thinking there's one tip and trick that I have not shared with you guys as to how I lost 100 pounds, and I think ways to adapt to a new healthy lifestyle. I would seriously suggest tweaking your dairy intake. I never really took the time to understand the side effects of dairy until after I stopped ingesting so much. And
that's a video, bestie. So I'm just here just to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video, how to lose 100 pounds faster. So first of thing, what we're going to talk about is you have to shift your mindset. Before the food, before the workout, before anything else, it's your mind that needs to shift. Losing 100 pounds requires a decision, and that decision has to be stronger than your excuses. If you tell yourself you're too tired, too busy, or that's too hard, bestie, you're already lost. Instead, start thinking like the vision of you who's already dropped the weight. How does she act? What choices does she make? Every time you want to give up, ask yourself if the future vision of you would approve. That mindset switch alone will help you move quicker because you won't keep restarting after every setback. Next, you have to look at food differently. You don't have to cut everything you love. What you do is to change the balance. The fastest weight loss happens when you eat food that keep you full without weighing you down. High protein meals, a lot of vegetables, and few processed food will completely change how your body responds. Think of food as fuel instead of comfort, and I promise the pounds will come off faster. When you stop overeating, high calorie junkie, and instead focus on meals that actually feed your muscles and your energy, your body shifts into fat burning mode almost naturally. Portion control is your best friend. When you're aiming for big weight loss, bestie, sometimes we think we're eating healthy, but our portions are huge. Even the healthiest food will store your weight loss if you eat too much. Learning to eat until you are satisfied, not stuffed, will shave off so many extra calories without making you feel deprived. Drinking water before making meals also helps because sometimes your body confuses thirst with hunger. Simple changes like this don't just make you lose the weight. They make you lose it faster. Now let's talk about movement, bestie. You don't need to live in the gym 7 days a week to lose 100 pounds, but you need to be consistency. Walking, strength training, and a little bit of cardio will sprinkle in, and it can help you to work wonders. Walking is underrated, but it burns fat constantly without burning you out. Strength training helps your body keep muscle while dropping the fat. And muscles actually helps you speed up metabolism, which makes you burning calories even at rest. If you want to drop the weight loss faster, commit to moving every single day. Even if you just walk around your neighborhood, small steps every day add up to a huge transformation. Bestie, another thing people forget about is sleep. If you're not sleeping well, your body holds on to weight. Lack of sleep messes with your hunger hormones, making you crave junky food. Getting 7 to 8 hours of good rest is the secret weapon for faster weight loss. It resets your body. It gives you energy to exercise and keep your cravings in check. So prioritize your rest as much as you prioritize your diet and workouts. Consistency is a true game changer. You can't eat well for 1 week and then give up for the next two. You can't expect 100 pounds to fall off if you keep stopping and starting. The fastest way to get there is by staying consistent, even when motivation disappears. And it will disappear sometimes. But discipline is what keeps you going. It's about doing what you need to do, even on days you don't feel like doing it, bestie. That's how you beat the timeline. And bestie, don't forget about patience. Losing 100 pounds is huge, and it requires giving your body time to adjust. You may not see results every single day, but if you're constantly, those small changes will add up. The weight loss didn't come overnight, that you should remember, and it won't go off overnight either. But when you're making smarter choices and starting consistency, it will come off faster than if you keep waiting for the perfect time to start. You also need to celebrate the small wins. Every pound lost is progress. Every inch gone is progress. Every day you choose to drink water instead of taking a lot of soda, walk or instead of sitting, or cook instead of ordering takeout is a win. When you celebrate the small victories, you stay motivated for the bigger goal, and the motivation keeps you moving faster. So, basically, if you really want to lose 100 pounds faster, it's about the mindset, food balance, portion control, daily movement, sleep, consistency, and patience. It's about showing up every single day for yourself. And the truth is, once you start, your body will thank you more energy and better confidence and health alive. Don't wait for the next month or next year. Stay committed, and you'll be shocked at how quickly the weight loss will come. So that's a video. Bye.